Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to connect the front-end app into the backend REST service. So the first thing we need to do is run MongoDB by on my terminal. I'm run MongoDB, and this means we start the MongoDB server. And the next thing we need to do is start run the backend application. So from root of the project, I'm change folder to server and run npm run dev. So you run server in the development mode, and it can have it's easy to reload the application without restart. So and the next thing we need to do is run the React front end app. Alright, cd to app and npm start. Okay, so alright, I'm going to open this new project. Open the project in my Sublime Text and alright, sure. Okay, so we have the app is the for React for an app, and server is the backend. So I opened Robo3T, and this can help me check in new database or a new collection in chat app, and this is the database name we are using for application. We got a user folder and store all the user information, and token is return or the key, and with user is related to authorization user from React front end app. Okay, so let's see in our messenger app. So right now I'm with sign out, and this means nothing. No, I'm not logged in. Right, so get back to our React app, and we got a user form, and where we are sending a login. So let me make a new test. Alright, so we'll take on console and just sign in. So current sign in, we didn't connect to the backend, and with that call and on submit, we call store login, and check out store.js. We got login. So login, we select a user from system fixed user collection on the top. So in this case, I'm going to remove this, and we have this dot user, and user is exactly user collection. We need to store on the local browser, and new or this map. And so now user is empty, and when we call to login, and we no longer file in user anymore, and I'm going to comment and to comment this code. And so let's see console.log so undo by code user equal name, or sorry, email equal user email, and password should be password. So we give a default email equal null and password is null. And so we are trying to log in with user info, alright, user. And here we got, sorry, alright, in null, so my mistake. It should be null. Okay, so React app now refresh. Okay, user is not defined. So we got store in the line 125. 125 because we deal with a deleted user. So now we don't see wait, search user. Cool. Alright, so search user, now I'm going to do this. And team search. So basically I am going to remove this. And in the search user, basically I'm just the dot search and user, and so we need to define a search. The dot search equal an object with user now equal new audit map, and we store a user in search, and so we can kick a user later. So let's see, user is notified large 220. Alright, so okay, this K, and the get member from channel, and here now we do so it to be become to user dot get key. So we made sure the key be alright. So max it to become code user ID equal should be alright max to string and key, and here we got a user ID. Okay, so let's see if any error, but okay, so I think this is cool. And this keyword, right, remove warning methods keyword, right, so keyword, so for now we don't need, and it's an M. Okay, here we go. Right, this in this file, C3, and remove this. Okay, so no more warning in console. Okay, so I'm trying to log in. For example, I'm logging with my email address and the password to anything. And we got an error, so login. Alright, user, and then it is not defined because, and this function should be a prompt. So we have to do return new prompt and subverting reserver and reject. And so for temporary I want to return reserver. Right, so reserver was card user something and reserver user. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I'm try sign again. This is my email address and the part 3. So we got the methods trying to log in with user with object, and so we need to make sure the function work. And we got another issue that is a component and mal. So problem is we in user form. Let me show you. And user form. Alright, so after we call login, and we call this prop on clone, and this will be hide this component and no more component is so, and we don't need to see it anymore. So once again make a test to make sure we didn't have no warning in anymore. 1 2 3 and right, so no warning, so cool. And we are getting methods trying to log in with user info, and here now my idea is when we got a store and right here. So I'm going to make this function. So we call to backend service and login with user data. So to do that, I going to change to the app and stroke file, and we got store.js, and I'm going to make a new file. It's a service.js. So we got service here, and export default class service. So right, service we got. So let me open Postman and make a test login port. Okay, so we got our server is plan on localhost port 3001 and API user and login. Alright, so the login, we are going to send JSON format. So the login should have first property is the email, right? My email.com and password. So I'm going to make a 1, 2, 3. This is wrong password. We should get the message login errors. And if we change to correct password, you should see a callback equal the token ID, and we can store it later. And we got the user. Okay, cool. So in our service, we got the URL now be this, and we set it to be fit. So Ep8, we can count API URL equal, right? So in class service, I'm going to make a two function should be get something and port something. So the get first parameter equal. So trying to do the first method, the port. So the port we pass from outside equal endpoint and data and option equal node. So alright, so I'm going to install a new package in, make sure we are in app folder, and run npm install Sevice. Okay, cool. So Axios, so we need to import this package, import Axios from Axios. And here where we import, we can do return Axios.port. Should be URL and data and option. Oh, so we got data equal from parameter and option from parameter. So option by default, I'm going to set header with a content type to be application JSON. Right, so I'm going to port a header is a JSON format, and we got a URL. Cat URL equal using ASC from API URL above API URL and right, so we don't need slap anymore. Right, so we can do it by remove it, and here is the endpoint. Can copy that. Cat URL equal cool. So in here we got first parameter, data, and endpoint. Cool. So we got service is initialized, And so how to use a service in our store? So it's very easy. Do by z.service equal new service, right? So we have to import service class. Import service from the service is the same folder in store, so we call service, and we don't need to include extension of the file. Right, so we got this. Your service, and now when we call login, and here I'm trying to make a service. So simply we can do z.service.port, and API should be we port to login, and we got API login, and here got API login, and the data should be user, and we port the user object with email and password. So and we hot then the response, and we console log, and here starts mean successful login. And otherwise we cut an error. So in this case, this means login error, and so we can cut matrix equal using loadout function to get the error and response data those error those matrix, or default we can do by login error. So in this case we return reject and matrix. So when we got the login successfully, the first parameter, the first thing we need to do current user equal. Alright, so it should be token. Let's set token equal using loadout function get response and data. And here we can log to install got user login callback from user server. Alright, and log this, and here we can do by console log got an error login from server with error from server, and cool. So let's see in test. So first thing we need to do, my email address, and type a wrong password, should be 1 2 3. This is wrong password, and we'll see. Oh, so we got it. And the first thing we're trying to log into server with user info, and we got an error login from server. Alright, so we got server should be from response and data and error and the matrix login error. So and that is why I use a loadout function get response data and error matrix. If we don't get this matrix, we return default the login error. So cool. And so what's up if so in this case now we got the successfully from server, and now I might try to again with correct password and see 1 2 3 and 4, and it's correct password. Now we see. So we got login callback from server, and we got an object with the token ID and the time when token created and user object. Cool. So we got this. So and here we need to, after got this user callback from the server, we need to save in our local data. So and the first thing we need to do is card user equal get a set token and user object, and we call z.set current user to be user. Cool. So we got a new function set current user, and when we set the current user, alright, so we need to do and say this user to our user collection in local. So we got this.user user equal this.user.set, and in this case I'm going to cut user ID equal, so we got user.id, right? And in this case set ID and user object. Okay, so we got that, and the next thing we need to do, set current. Also need to set this as set token. So we got this user and this token equal. So by default should be null. So I'm going to make a new function set token. Set token. Set user token. Token should be a set token, and here we need to do, so the same thing we need to do is this dot token should be from set token, and we'll set local store dot set item. This is key equal token, and the value should be JSON.pass, right? So we need to pass string by JSON.string I5 from a set token. And in this case, if not a set token, we do call this dot local store dot remove item token key, and this token equal null, and here we return. Okay, so we got set user token, and here we call, when we log in successfully, we call this z.set current user token at set token. And the next thing, when the app first loads, I'm going to call this get token from local store. So in this case, it should be same as get user. So let token equal null, and here we return token. So cost data equal local store dot get item, the key equal token, and if data, and we try and cut error console log error if we found any error, and try to do token equal JSON.pass from data, and we got token. Cool. So I think it's enough. Let's try again one more time to sign in, and here my email address 1 2 3 and 4 is exactly password. So we got my name, and prop is a user email profile, and currently in our database we don't have a user email profile function implement that. So basically, so I can do, but when we call to set a user, set a current user, so I will try to the first thing we got login. So we set current user. In this case, we set a temporary user avatar image URL. So let's get back to our avatar. I'm going to do this, and we make a text random of avatar and copy this. And here, for example, we got a size of image to be resized to 100 pixels, and here we can do by my name, right? My name this, and for example, Kevin this, and Alex this. I think that is enough. And so that means we can copy this and user.avatar equal just temporary, and we rename this to user.name or even user.id. So one again to log out, it's my current user. And so when I log out from user, so I think we need to remove from user from the local from this z.user equal z.user dot remove. Alright, so first thing we need to do is user card user id equal z.user dot id. So I am going to use a load that function z.user id and default is none. And in this case, if we got a user ID, so we need to remove this user from out of user collection. User ID, cool. So I'm to map to string. User should be string, so do that. So okay, so one more time to log in. My email address 1, 2, 3, and 4 is the correct password. And here we got my profile show up because we set a temporary to image profile. Okay, so now refresh the browser. Now see the user is show up, but problem is, so user now is kept in our local store, and I want to do every time user reloads the browser, I will need to check to make a request to our backend service and check if user is exist in our database. So how to do that? So when we get user from local store, and in this case I'm going to make g dot even get user from local store, and where it is, and this if user. So here try to connect to backend server and verify this user either live or either exists, right? So how to do that? So in this case, alright, I'm going to make a new connect to, for example, I'm going to authorization with it. Okay, so part now become to get user and me, and so now we request so user me is not correct. So let's get back to our backend, and we got a app router, and so first thing to copy this comment, and we got app producer, and right here I am going to make endpoint API user and me. Alright, so we app.get API user and me, and request respond and next. Right, simply we do card token ID equal request dot get authorization. So authorization return JSON, right, simple your access token ID equal token ID, and we return exactly from token. If not token ID, and token ID will be null, something like that. And so now we can see exactly return the method from our server get user me. So we see what's happened in our server. If no token, right? So we got to be let because card is read only. So once again, refresh this, and we got a set token is null. But what happened if we, so in here we make a new login and we copy this ID, and this ID mean is token ID. Alright, so in this case I'm going to set a header authorization to be a set token ID, and we got exactly token ID from user request. So in this case, if you set an authorization from header, and that means when we accept it, so the token is a null. But I want to do this, so something gets user set token from this. So we got or even token from it. So I want to use a both token from query string and authorization in the header. So how to do that? So in this case, if not token, so we can do by get token from queries, and we do it by token ID using loadout function get request and query dot token. So if you want to token to query, so name of token, you copy that, or even you change to accept token. So you have to get token by accept token. Cool. So here, let's see. Now I'm padding accept token from query. So we got exactly accept token. So in this case, we can do E to allow user set accept token from browser from the query string, and or you can pass token accept token in the header. Cool. So I'm trying to change to token. I think it is better, or even out. Right. So let's change it out, and here, and we have to get by query.r, and this means now refresh the app, we got same. Okay, so I hope you understand that mean. Okay, so we got this accept token from browser from user request. So we need to check this. So when we got the user, so in this case we can do by this dot we app dot model dot token. So let's close this a bit and user form and store, and we got it. app.model.token. And how I do call it, because we got the model and we got user and token. So token is the new token class, and we got model token dot load token dot load token ID, and we got then set token. And in this case, if we got a set token, so right, I think we can do by app.token.load. Right, so thing need to do, if we got that and we return our object is the user, return exactly a set token, and all the while we catch error. And we return red.json stars and a set deny, that means we return this code and JSON error. Or even an out. Okay, so we call to app.model.token.load, but we didn't define this function. So inside token class, we have to make a new function load id equal new default, and this is a permit function. So we return new permit, two parameter resolver and reject. So in this case, I'm going to try to make a reject first. Return reject, and reject method, for example, set deny. And here, I think we can do by arrow method should be error and error. Okay, so in this case, we got reject a new method. We come to methods, set deny, and okay, so let's refresh the browser and you can see we got the method set deny. And if you want to see the response code, and here we can do, we got a set deny with this code 401. So we got the method error set deny, and this means because I'm trying to reject, and this, alright, so I'm uncomment it. I'm trying to return resolver, and okay, true, something like that. And so refresh the browser, you should see the method okay, and here now you should see the 200 code. Cool. And that is how we make a promise function. Alright, so in this case with load, and I'm going to make a new function file token by ID. So we got the ID, and the next is a callback function, default return callback, and we do z.app.db.collection. We find the collection with the ID matched from the user provider. So collection now to be token.file1 by card query equal ID to be matched ID, and the ID now to be card ID object to be new. Alright, object ID. ID. So we have to import object ID, import object ID from MongoDB, and we compare the ID in. Now you see inside our database we store is the object ID, so that is why we have to convert and token string digit ID string and new object ID. Cool. File token by ID. And okay. So I think I can do to make sure I can do by if type ID equal object and or not object, and we do this. Okay, so we let object ID okay, so I think we can do this. Don't need to check anymore, so give this. So we have ID object and we find one by query. The first parameter query and next parameter is error and results. Alright, file token by ID you can do by if error or not results. Return return callback function to be error method should be Mattis token or un right set or not found. Just simply like that, and user is a new object and otherwise return callback, and the method arrow is a new and results. Okay, so then we can call this by d.file token by ID, and here we can pass parameter to ID. So ID lot ID equal and mark this ID into string. So simply you can do that. So ID and file by ID and callback error user token. So we can check this by if error we return reject error, or if you want to do the one line of code we can do simply we can do return if error with reject error, and otherwise resolver token. Okay, so that means now we return token with object in our router. Now let's try in browser. So let's see if this token is belong to an object in our database. So let me show you a tip, very cool, and I think you learned it in the last video. So when we make a new load token by ID, the first time we load from database, and the second time we catch it in our store. So in this means I'm going to console.log begin query into database and make. So in this case, now let's see it. Now refresh the browser and you got the method begin query into database and reload again. Now should get begin to database, and another time you should get begin request from database. That means we query database too many times for same same token ID. So that is what I don't want to do that. So just simply to do, we can do by import immutable. So from immutable, so all this map, all this map, So in this case, we set collection token equal new artist map. Okay, so when we load it, after loaded this, and this means if error, if not error, and token. That means we check if not error and token either exists. We can do by this token equal this dot token dot set. So we need set ID by card token ID equal exactly ID. So we don't have to define it anymore. We can take ID right here. We and okay, so an ID and token. And here we copy that token. Or if you want to save it, we can do by card token ID should be the mark to string to do by token dot ID. And here we set the token ID. And all you want to make a token by simply you can do token dot ID dot to string. It should be the same. Cool, token and token ID. And this means we set new token after we find it into token collection in the cart. Okay, so we after that, and the first thing we load ID, and here we do first we check in case if file don't need to query into database. So in this case we do by card token equal token from case. Alright, so we do as it token dot get exactly ID here ID and check if token from cake is not null or undefined, and we can return resolver and token from cake. So and try again. Now refresh our browser. The first time we refresh it, we should see a matrix begin query into database. And the next time I think should not get into this matrix anymore. So you can see. And here I'm going to disable the log up. Alright, this log, and so we no longer see this. Right, so let's see the first time we query in take into 23 milliseconds, but second time it take only 1 millisecond. That's much better. And here now the first time we need to ref, and you got the message begin query into database. And the next time refresh, and no longer we see a new message. Cool. Alright, so let's get back to our authorization. We got callback is user ID, and but I want to including a new user object in user ID. So in this case, I'm going to in our app router. So app.token, and so load user from token. So I think we need to user this inside user model. So load user by token ID. So we are going to user. So in this case, app.model user load user by user token, and we call back either right. So I think this we can keep this token app token dot load, and we got a set token, and here we need to make. Okay, so I think cool. So let's get back app.model user and load user by token, and here we got a user. Right, load user, or even model token, load user, load token, and user, load token and user. And so we got token, and here just return token. So in this mean we call in our model token we got token and user, and this mean we have to create a new function load token and user ID. And the first thing we need to do is dit.load ID, and then the token. So this to be a permit function return, we do return new permit miss. Alright, permit to parameter reserver and reject. Okay. So the first time we need to load token. So we got token here by cat arrow. If arrow we return reject matrix reject error matrix reject error. So and otherwise in here we caught it by caught. Now here we need to load user. So caught user ID equal using loadout function token user ID. Oh, when we load after load we got the user ID. Here we can get it, and the user ID it should be an object ID. Now let's see in our database the user. Let's check our token, and we see the user ID is also object ID, so we have to convert it. And so it means so object ID I marked it into string, so it should be string. And so in this case this does app dot model dot user dot load. We load user ID, and let's see in our user we have function load, right? Load user ID, and right here so we can do by ID equal and mark it into a string ID. Okay, so we got ID load ID, and here we call app.model dot user dot load by user ID, and then user in this case, or even cat we return the same thing that copy that return this. So we got a user object here. We can do by return this token dot a token object dot user equal user and return resolver token. And now in our browser, now you should see a user object. Okay, so let's see what happened. Because now, try again. Small orders. First thing we need to do, console log resolver token. Right, I think it's something wrong here. So the first thing we need to do is console log your token. First thing we need to debug something token. And here let's wait for apps restart and refresh and see. So we got token ID and here right, let's debug anything console log user ID and type user ID and see what's kind of user. Right, okay, server restart and see token. Problem is we don't see this. So what happened this? User. Okay. So user equal token dot user ID dot toString and refresh. We got console log. Hi. And again refresh. And so problem if we don't see any debug. So I think we have a problem in getting user ID to string. So I think we can do it by simply cut this to string by to be token dot user ID. Right, so we do hey user ID and type and so refresh again. Now you should see a user object inside token. And let's see, hey, and string is correct. So it does work, and this means so we done to how to authorize a user in with set token ID. Okay, so let's copy this set token ID in here, paste it here, and send it. Now with authorization code in the header, now you should see user. Okay, so get close and get back to our React app. So refresh the app and actually now user and select from our local browser. But I want to verify this user. So let's close it. And in our app, and we got a store. And the first time when the browser refresh and get user from local store, and this case, yes, user from local store, and if user here, so we do to connect to by d.service.get. So API endpoint now to be API user and me, and we can pass token or R to be token key, but so I can do it by code header or code option equal header. Header so to be an object with our authorization. Object can do this. Authorization. Now it should be token ID. And so how we get token ID? And here we can add option. And how we get token ID is simply we can do by card token equals this dot get token from local store, and we got get local from store if in this case if this token return this token, and if we load it, and here token from local store and card token ID equal to be token using loadout function token dot underscore ID. Okay, so we got authorization token and option dot then we got a set token, and this means if we got this, it means user is logged with the token ID, and we cut this arrow if that arrow, that means user does not exit, or this token expire, or this token of delays or something like that. But we set the first thing we need to do this dot sign out inside our current token or sign our current user, and we right. So inside out we got local store remove me, and we next time we remove identity token, and also this user dot remove user ID. Get correct. Alright, cool. So we got user from local store, and so we have to implement the service get user me and save that first and get back to our service. We don't have a get implement that, so first thing endpoint and option. Okay, option should be no. And this means we just copy this and return ACR dot get URL and option. So let's see. Now you should see in the network when refresh the app. I think we should have guess me right here. We guess me and respond with user data. This means if the user is correct, our user is logged in, and when we got back to, we also this called set current user equal. So we called user should be response. So card user equal response data, and should be a set token, and card user equals loadout function at set token user, and here we can call set current user. And the next time we make function, we need to set current token. We don't set current token. Alright, set user token. Alright, should be a set token. Cool. So let's refresh the app. And so, right, cool. So this means I want to show you. And for example, in this case, we call user is my name. And let's try to rename this document to be something like this, something other name, and we reach rename in our database, but we have to restart the server. And so this means now refresh the browser, and the first time user my name should be selected from the local browser store, and the next time we got a request to our backend and my name should be changed. And here, right, cool, that is how it works. And let's change back to my name. And we also have to restart the server because server is a catch my name in user collection, and here my name show up again. Cool. So right, in this case I'm going to search the user inside our database. So how to implement a new search function in our database? So we have to do this. So let's close the app and open server again, and in our app browser, and we have to user ID, and here, right here, I'm going to implement new search and user search not to be pod, to be app.pod, PRA user and search equal respond and nick. So the first thing we need to do, return example rather JSON search with keyword. And what about keyword? Keyword is this, keyword equal cast keyword equal load that function get request dot body. Alright, request that body dot search. Right, that means the default I'm going to give is empty. And here that means we are going to use API user search, and this is a pod method, so I am going to change to pod and API user search, and don't need to give authorization anymore, and select the body tab and select raw JSON format, and JSON format, and here I make through query search, for example, is searching for my name and should be returned exactly search for keyword. Okay, so it's hard is a new post methods and API endpoint for searching user in work. And in this case, I have to do a in user model, and we create a new method search query equal default or something like that. The search, I'm going to return a promise, new promise, resolver reject. So we have a search here and copy that and back to our API router and return this, remove this. So we call this dot app, app dot model user dot search. So first in query is exactly keyword, and then reserve. Also return red.json or start 200.json result and cat arrow. and just return grab.start, so not file, and right, so like that. So in user service, and we have to query, make a query for user. In this case, I'm going to do this. Card query equal. The query equal an object, and we have to or conditional an array. We're searching for. So let's see in our user what we have, and inside user we have email and name. So we don't searching for the password, we don't searching for the ID, we don't search for the created the data. I think we can search for two parameters, is the name and email. So and we have to make a two query. The first thing is the name. The name should be regex, and regex to be right, regex. So we have to regex port regex here, card regex equal new regex. Right, so not sure, but I think this. And now I'm searching for search regex. Regex Ep8. Now right, so let's copy this. Regex. Okay. So we have a query, and the first parameter query and make equal I. So we got the regex right here, and the same thing I am copy this, and for email, and here we can do by with this.app.model. Right, sorry, it.app.model.user. Right, dot collection. So if you want to call it simply, we call it much simply. So I think you can do this. This.model equal, alright, this is called collection, or even do this model equals app.model.user, something like that. And here we can call to much shorter in this.model.collection. That's much better. Collection now to be user. Okay. Alright, so I missed this model to be this.app.db db. Alright, so I think keep this. This.app.db.collection user. And here we call file. The first parameter is a query. We not copy query, and next parameter to be a field we want to be returned when user finding in collection. I don't want to return the password and email right here. So I want to return first thing ID equal true, email equal 4, or don't email 4, so the name equal true, created true. So what else? And the next parameter and to array. To array we have two parameters, arrow and results. And here we can do by simply we check if arrow or not results or not results dot length and return reject to be a method. Alright, not found or user not found, like that, and otherwise return resolver results. Okay, so in our app router, and here I think it is cool, and here we make a tag for example I'm going to searching for my name, and we got back my name, and you can see no path were filled in the user in the results. And if you want to return the email, and in this case that you want to email equal in return field, so you can read email true, and here and refresh this. Now you should see email in the result, but I don't want to someone searching for email of the user. The email should keep private, and so we don't include email in search results. Okay, so let's try again. I'm searching for Kevin, so return the user of Kevin, and searching for Alec, and here we got an Alec. Cool, so we got the backend API working, and so close this and get back to our React frontend app. We have a new channel, and here we're looking for someone. So in this case, let's get back to component search user, and we call store user equals store and search user dot search user, and see in our store we have a search user anywhere somewhere, right? Cool, we have a search user and return search user and value. And search user, and it means I'm going to do either inside you search user array search user, we don't need search anymore, and get search user, search user, and so it is done it. So simply we return this. Alright, sorry, we don't need insert keyword anymore, and just return user from our search. And so how to do query to browse to backend server, and we get in. Alright, let's see in our user bar. Sorry, no user bar, it should be in the messenger. In the messenger we got the new channel is new, and the input when we make change, typing something change or even on change. So we got the search user text, and so in that means we don't include the search value right here and search user, and we don't need it anymore. Remove that. And here when we make some change, so right, So let's call store.star search server search user. Right, so now we got this user tag and star search user from backend, from server, from star search, right, star search user from. So we can do this star search user. So let's create a new function star search user, and this means we got a query search equal, right? So and here we can do, so let's query to our database. So query to backend server and get list of user. So we can do by this service dot get. Now the API become to our API user and search, and API search with now the option to be search for in this case we are using port data and the search key, and we search Ep8. So window body cost data equal search equal search. So I'm going to change it to query, and here we can implement query like that, and then result. Here should be response. Right, so list of user match, and here we can do by card user equal load that function response get data, or even default just empty array, and catch error, and in this case we log to the console log searching error. So in this case, before searching to any user, I'm going to try to z.search user equals z.search user, and we clear all and try in user before we searching. So and when we got back, so in this case, so I'm going to make a very simple console in the log, and to see get list of user from server and so user, and here we can return in the console. So let's see. Now create a new channel and searching for my name. Okay, so we got store get search user, store.get user in search user, store.get search user, and we have to change search user to get search user. Where is the search user? Right, okay, so get search user. Now once again try to search for Alex. Alright, so we got a searching error with not found. So what happened? Let's see in our network, and to see what happened, we have a search and user search in parameter. Oh, right, so we don't have any parameter. So in our store we call user star search and query search and data. Right, should be port. I'm sorry. should be pause not get. Once again, we get back to console, clear the console, and now I'm trying to create a new channel, search for Alec. And now you should see the first thing searching for A, and we got 3. In this case, we got searching A for, and finally we search for L, E, and H. And then finally we got only name is Alec. Right. In the next video, I will try to how to make a debouncing when user typing something and we don't search for anything, but we waiting for about 200 milliseconds and call back to this call API to server. So in this case, we got an array of user, and here, so we got it. So let's remove this log console. And this means we can do right loop through user, and using loadout function we got user, and we have to, the first thing we need to catch to user to z.user, and secondly we need to add this user to this set and add user to z.search user, and just two things we need to do. The first thing we need to do, call z.user equal z.user.set. Alright, so we do by call user ID equal, now marked it to into user._id, and here we can do right user, and secondly we do z.search user equal z.search user.user.set user ID and user. So what else? And I think we can call to after that respond, and here update component by this update. Alright, cool. Let's see. Again, try to search for Alec. We got Alec here. Search for Kevin. Okay, so we got Kevin here, and we got search for, alright, the wrong name. We should got an error message not found. Cool. So problem A, we searching for Alec, and no avatar user image appear right here because in our REST service we don't return any avatar image URL. So for now, the temporary to fit this by user.avatar equal, so we do get user z.load avatar, or load user avatar, and give a user. So make a new function z.load user, and here alright, make a temporary avatar when we do this, and let's copy this, and here we can do by this lost avatar from user as well, and all this in order. Alright, cool. So and here load avatar return this and user.id, and cool. So now let's see. One again looking for Alec, and we got Alec and his avatar, and select this and it should be inside it, and one more time Kevin. Cool. And here we can do a hello, hi Kevin and Alec, how are you today? Right, that is how it works. Okay, so I think I will stop the video here and see you in next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.